Hey everyone, welcome to Quickscope podcast, brought to you by Higher Passion Entertainment. We're your hosts, Heroes, Serge, and Neil, and we're here to talk about our passion, video games. I wanted to start off today with something that's been just big in the news lately, big everywhere really, and it just so happens to kind of affect gaming in a certain way. And that's the craziness that's been happening on Wall Street with GameStop. I'm sure everyone already knows what's happened there. Wall Street bets people just started driving up the stock of GameStop, and they're valued at like I don't know, like 17,000% more than they were before. Some ridiculous number, and it's just crazy to see like that they picked something like GameStop. I know in the past, Serge especially, we talked about GameStop and what they need to do to change. Do you think these events that have happened recently, what do you guys think this will do to GameStop and the business? Is it going to affect in any way?
Well, I mean, I'm big into investing in also crypto, so stuff like this, it happens a lot. You normally don't see this in Wall Street. You see this a lot in cryptocurrencies, where the volatility is just all over the place. But for GameStop in general, it's gonna help them at least a bit. They apparently what they're saying is they're gonna shift their focus to making more electronics and making more, not just being a business about games, because that part of their business I think won't ever come back, and they're gonna definitely have to adapt. And it's just a fresh start for them. It gives them a new opportunity to come back, as maybe a different company, maybe a rebranding, something to change their business. Because in the end of this, it could have been any company. It was GameStop. Now you see this the same thing with AMC, Nokia, a bunch of these old companies that a lot of people are trying to bring back just because the hedge fund people, they bet for them to fail, essentially, and people are upset about that. They always want these companies to fail so that they make money off of them. So it was just great to see, like the little man's fighting back. So and GameStop's there, man. Gamers are into their revolutions. So it's funny to see for sure. But I mean, it's great for people. I never knew how many people did not know about the stock market. How it works.
Right.
People were all over Twitter just asking questions about stuff like this, and I'm like, this has been going on for ages. Any business person knows how at least the stock market works, and it's just it was interesting. Everyone who was on Twitter definitely kept an eye on this.
Yeah, it's crazy because I like personally I've been investing for years now.
Yeah.
And worked in invested like part of the reason I was able to buy my house was because of good investments that we've made over the years. And
Nice.
it's insane to see people be like, "Oh, stock market," and everyone's like, "Oh, buy GameStop." Like I have so many homies hitting me up now, be like, "Dude, should I buy? Should I not?" And I was like, "When did I become the stock expert?" And it's hilarious.
Yeah.
You're the go-to guy that knows his stuff.
Yeah, and it's crazy because essentially what happened is a group of people came together and said, "We're gonna." It's supply and demand, right? We're all gonna buy this stock and bring up the value of GameStop.
Yeah.
For GameStop, I think I agree with you, sir. I think it helps them. I think it helps because I mean GameStop as it is right now, it doesn't look like they've changed their business model.
Yeah.
And of course, they had a little spike during the holidays because the new consoles coming out.
And the pandemic.
And in the pandemic, people were going to be buying games, and but because of the pandemic, you also see less people being in stores. Most GameStops, I think I've seen in like malls.
Yeah.
And so they have less foot traffic coming through. I think what this does more than anything is buy them time
Yeah.
to change their model, and because we already had seen GameStop start on a decline long before the pandemic.
Yeah.
But even then, they're especially with like digital games coming out and like PlayStation and Xbox coming out with their Game Pass.
Yeah, more
and
online.
all that stuff.
Yeah.
All this online gaming. So I think what it allows GameStop is, from a financial perspective, they have their own shares that they can sell off to make money and to stay afloat even longer in time for them to change their model if they have to. And you mentioned, Serge, they've been talking about electronics, so I think that would be a natural next step.
Yeah, if I was running the business, I would tell them to completely rebrand and become a Newegg, a Newegg, completely digital, be a electronics provider. Maybe they sell PC parts, turn into a PC retailer. They have to change their business model. The whole GameStop, their stores are gonna go under, so they have to just drop the whole business as a whole and rebrand it because that sadly the business as it was is not coming back. And I don't think it ever will. But you either adapt or die. So they have to adapt right now, and like you said, it buys them more time to do the changes that they want, or at least come up with a new plan.
Yeah. What do you think, Neil?
I think it will help, and especially buy them time because of the whole pandemic thing, and like they were GameStop was, to Wall Street investors, they were really like in doubt with GameStop. They were already ready to see it fail.
Yeah.
And it just skyrocketed, and then the GameStop is backed by so many out there, especially like forums, Reddit, so it's cool to see that GameStop is picked up a little bit during the pandemic, especially.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was gonna say it was funny how people were saying that GameStop, after ripping you off for so many years, finally they pay you back, right? after selling your brand new game for $2, that you finally get that money back somehow.
Yeah.
So it was funny, man. It's it really was nice to see a lot of people come together, right? Like GameStop united the country for a weekend, and it was kind of crazy. And you saw two Republicans and Democrats all on the same boat, so it was kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's really cool to see, and even when it came to this, like obviously you had the people that were investing just to like give it to the man to screw up the hedge funds. But I saw on the forums, Neil pointed it out, like you actually saw a lot of people that are like, I don't want to see GameStop fail, so I'm going to invest in them.
Yeah.
And GameStop, it has a feeling of nostalgia for so many of us, and not only that, like I know, like they've tried to change their models over the years. Like there's very few places that you can get like video game memorabilia. Like I have I bought like a Monopoly board game that's Zelda themed from them, and they have all like the little action figures, and I like buying stuff there for like my nieces and nephews. So and they have stuff there that you don't necessarily see in other places either. So
they started selling like electronics, right? They started selling iPhones or buying iPhones and stuff like that. They were doing a bunch of new stuff.
Yeah, so they're already in the process of changing, and hopefully this will give them the edge to kind of stay afloat, and hopefully we don't see them leave.
Right.
Because they've been a staple of the gaming community for years now, so it'd be good for them to stick around a little longer.
Hopefully this teaches people that there's other ways to support businesses that you do care about too, right? While the stocks are it's a money making, it's essentially a casino. You still put money on people on businesses you want to succeed and you want to support, such as Tesla. I think that the main reason that Elon Musk was so into this was because these hedge funds try to do that to him, and Tesla. So supporting businesses, there's so many ways you can do it. So it was just again, just awesome to see.
Yeah. Kind of going along the lines of the gaming business as a whole, it was interesting to see Amazon is getting into the gaming business, obviously, with their purchase of Twitch. For those that don't know, Amazon owns Twitch. But they've also just started the beta testing, or I think it's alpha testing technically, of Luna, which is their new gaming platform. It's a streaming platform. So the idea is that if you don't have a super powerful computer, like myself, I usually play on a Mac. It's what I have. I like the Mac for like music production and video production and stuff. So that's what I have available to me. So I could use something like this to play games that actually would be harder for this computer to take. And not only that, but Amazon also partnered up with Ubisoft. So you're going to get basically all the Ubisoft games available for streaming through the Luna platform. I think that's really cool, but in a juxtaposition of sorts, you have Google Stadia, who is basically the same thing, came out not too long ago. They're already pulling out on some of the business deals that they had originally said they were going to do. And originally they had a whole studio. They were going to make original games, and they're not going to do that anymore. They completely dissolved their like development of that, but they're still moving forward with Stadia itself, but they're kind of taking their time now. They're not going head first like they were before. So you see Amazon and Google kind of sticking their head in, where I mean Sony and Microsoft have been the head honchos for so long. What do you guys think of this? Of them kind of trying to get in with their own platforms?
Yeah, I think it works for them. I mean, they're already in. They already have people already in the gaming industry, right? With them, with Twitch, it's just Twitch is gaming, and Twitch has grown gaming beyond any other means, um, and it's the same thing with like Netflix. When Netflix was big and all these streaming services started to come out, once Xbox took off, Xbox is probably the standard, on the streaming and the uh, or the collection of games, I guess you can say. So they're just taking a chance, and they might as well. It looked pretty cool. It looked something like you could take portable too. So I think you just buy the control for $50.
Yeah,
and then you can stream it. Yeah, and I guess the only problem is that there is latency if you use any other control besides their control, or it has to be something that connects with the Wi-Fi with the cloud. So it's really confusing, but I mean, it's better. Like, say you're going on vacation or something, you want to take just the control with you. You could stream it in your hotel room or something like that. So, that's pretty cool. It's something different, I guess, that people can try.
Yeah. Neil, what do you think?
Amazon Luna. I mean,
Yeah.
I haven't really looked into the new whole Luna part of it. With Amazon and Twitch, partnered up, and with Ubisoft, like they have a lot of great games.
Yeah.
So it's just like a whole nother like it's like a Game Pass basically, right? It's a monthly payment sort of deal, and I think it's just it's very refreshing to see gaming and different platforms evolving. It helps us more. Definitely helps more being more portable. In fact, that making this whole Luna controller, it's I concur with it. It's
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah, not only that, I think just the fact that we have other options available to us as gamers, and we have competition. Like now, you got Google and Amazon in the game, and I know Amazon had their Amazon Game Studios, and they had came out with their game Crucible, which I played. I played for a bit. I liked it. It was cool, but I got over it real quick, and I went back to like playing like Apex and stuff like that. So. Um, and they actually canceled Crucible. They ended up not moving forward with development. So I think everyone's kind of trying to find their niche, right?
Right.
Xbox does not have the gaming streaming, but they do have Game Pass, which allows you to play their games and from a selected library. PlayStation, so Sony does have streaming is their PS Now, which is basically the competitor to Game Pass, but it's kind of in between. So it's game streaming, but it's also their own library of games. So I feel like Amazon Luna is kind of going down that path, especially partnering with Ubisoft. And I think they're kind of taking the best ideas out of both and doing their own thing with it. And because obviously Xbox, they have the partnership with EA, right? The EA Play, into Game Pass. So they're seeing like there's people that are fans of specific developers, and maybe like if they get another developer in there, I don't know who they could go for, but something like Activision, like if they get Activision in there, and I mean they're gonna start kind of getting more players to use their platform, and I think that's cool. That's healthy competition.
Yeah.
We get to choose from a variety of different platforms that we get to play now.
Yeah, I mean, in competition, the winner is always the consumer. So, no matter what, we win in the end. And like I said, Amazon, maybe they can do Amazon Prime include the Luna and Twitch Prime with something like that. They'll probably do
like
some kind of bundle, something like that. At the end of the day, it's just stuff to add on to their offers for Amazon Prime, because Amazon Prime is probably Amazon's biggest seller, I would say, along with obviously Amazon. But
Yeah.
yeah, just new opportunities.
Yeah, and it's all in their cloud system, so
Yeah,
that helps.
yeah,
Yeah, because I mean, AWS cloud. I mean, that's a big standard, and obviously Xbox has Microsoft's Azure cloud that they use as well.
yeah.
So there's going to be heavy competition there when it comes to cloud gaming. So yeah, I'm excited. If you haven't already, you can actually go to Amazon Luna, the website. I don't know, it's like AmazonLuna.com, something like that.
Yeah.
And you can put in your email and register to see if they select you to be one of their
For the beta,
testers.
right?
Yeah. So definitely recommend if you're up for just trying it out on your computers. Right now it's just for computers, but if you got a PC and you want to check it out, go ahead and put in your name. It's a quick survey. It took me like 2 minutes to fill out, so it's really cool. Um, I like that you mentioned healthy competition. I wanted to talk about this because as a fan of sports, and I know you guys are fans of football as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Pro Bowl, which just happened, being played on Madden.
So
Yeah.
different, dude. So weird.
It was weird, right?
A simulation, bro.
Yeah.
Like so
Yeah.
inaccurate.
Yeah, it was weird. But I mean, the Pro Bowl has been, not barely watched for years and years in football. It's probably I would say probably the worst All Star weekend, I guess they have in all sports. So
Yeah.
they,
Yeah.
they're trying something different. I mean, it works for now. I don't know if it's something. Maybe they should add like one of these segments, like a 3-point contest, a dunk contest. One of these like little
Yeah, like
Skill
skills
test.
challenges,
skills
Yeah.
like
challenges, stuff like that. Maybe,
they usually do
but
have that, that's
yeah,
the thing, but since they're not allowing any contact, I guess like, they simulate a Madden game. That's,
yeah,
it's kind of very new to all of us in the
yes,
sports scene, especially football.
yeah,
As much as I like gaming, I just thought that was weird.
Very
yeah,
weird.
And
Oh yeah.
yeah, at first I thought when they had announced that it was gonna be played on Madden, because in these games you can play as yourself and you can play a single player, like instead of like playing as the whole team.
As the whole team,
yeah,
yeah.
And that's kind of what I thought they were gonna try and do, but apparently they just handed it off to a different person for each quarter to basically quarterback the team and yeah, it was just
Call the
weird to
plays,
watch,
yeah.
and I don't know if that even helps gaming at all, if that helps Madden at all. Madden itself being one of the at least this year, yes, they're a well-known video game franchise, but
Yeah.
this year, as far as sports goes, they haven't had very good ratings,
yeah,
and I think that this past year's Madden was one of the lowest purchased in what was it, like 5 or 6 years?
Oh
yeah.
really?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So I don't think this did it any favors.
Definitely not. And another news also, MLB The Show. I don't know if you guys have ever played it, but that's coming
Yeah.
on Xbox now. I think
Oh,
it was
cool.
a PlayStation's exclusive, so I'm excited for that.
What is it?
MLB The Show.
The show,
MLB
the
the
baseball game.
show.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Oh,
It was only on PlayStation previously,
okay.
but the new one's coming out on Xbox,
yeah.
so that's pretty exciting too.
I remember talking to Richie, who does the Four Balls podcast
Yeah,
for Higher Passion, and he was saying that's probably one of the better
yeah,
baseball games, one of the better sports games. But as far as baseball goes, he said it was probably the best one.
yeah. Dude, I'm excited. I'm excited. I
That's
love
cool.
baseball games, man. My favorite sports game is probably MLB Slugfest from back in the
Okay.
day. So man,
Yeah.
I'm excited for some baseball because I've been missing it, and like I said, it's been on Sony, on PS the last 4, 5, 6 years. So
Yeah,
us Xbox people need some baseball.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's cool. I know.
Is it
I
coming
posted
out for
a
all platforms? Or is it just PS?
I think it's just PS and Xbox, but I'm not sure. It was just announced
Oh, okay,
today.
okay.
Yeah,
Got you.
yeah,
I was more of
yeah.
FIFA.
I think the game's made by Sony, so obviously they kept it. Sony keeps their exclusives all the
Okay,
time.
okay.
So, and it's good for sports in general too, because I mean, baseball's always lacking in the sense of advertisement. So there's no
Right.
reason why they shouldn't have it on both. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's really cool. They're doing that. I posted on social media not too long ago that I wanted to see NBA Volume 2 come back and NBA
Yes, that's
Street.
NBA Street
2021.
Volume 2.
Yeah,
Oh man.
that was the best. Oh yeah, that was
Oh yeah.
that too.
Yeah,
And
with
NFL
the
Street was awesome too.
NFL Street.
NFL Street. I feel like that one was very like not that many people played it, but I had so much fun with it.
Oh
Yeah,
man, Mike Vick
yeah.
in that was he was
OP,
nuts.
bro. He was OP.
OP.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
cheat code in every
Yeah,
every match.
yeah,
Yeah, I feel like as far as sports games goes, I think a lot of developers have kind of just stayed in their like little bubbles. Like you got NBA 2K, you got Madden, like the yearly ones,
Yeah.
and we
yeah.
haven't gotten anything like different,
And
anything new
yeah.
in a while.
And I don't understand that because I mean, people love the backyard style. Like that's
Hmm.
that's what people like in sports. Playing Madden, I get it, but the plays it is just boring, man. Like Madden's been boring for me since 2008, man. Like Madden's been boring to me for a while, and I don't know how people play it. Like I guess I know how people like it, but it's just like there's no change. It's the same thing over and over again, and there's just no. They stay too comfortable for sure. All these games got a little too comfortable.
You
Yeah.
know what I need? A new NFL Blitz.
Ooh,
That's
man,
what I
Blitz
need.
was good too,
Oh,
dude.
that was fun too.
Yeah.
You can get on fire and run
Yeah.
through
Yeah,
people.
dude.
Yeah.
Or what was the other NBA Jam?
Yeah.
NBA Jam.
Yeah, sometimes too realistic can get a little bit boring, man. Like
Yeah, like
put
NBA
some fun,
Live.
some
NBA
spice,
Live died out.
some spice into it, man. NBA Live was awesome for a while.
It was
man.
awesome, man. Then just
Yeah.
died out. 2K took over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I remember Tracy. I think the best one was Tracy McGrady was on it. It was like 06.
Yeah.
06 or something like that. Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, I think what 2K's done right also is kind of incorporate the social part of it, especially
Mhm.
with the
Yeah.
blacktop games,
Yeah, yeah.
where
yeah.
you can just like walk around the neighborhood and meet up with your
Right,
buddies
right.
and play. I think
Yeah.
them
Hey,
doing
pick up.
that was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the whole rating system and all that, they put a lot of emphasis on that. So it's something that people look forward to every year. You know, it's kind of add some kind of suspense, I guess. So yeah, 2K is probably the one that's done well enough to at least keep making games for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll see where they go from there. Kind of following along on the talk of sports, it's been really interesting to follow esports here in the States, because, I mean, for years, esports, Neil, I don't know if you follow esports at all, but esports in the States have always been lagging behind their, like, Euro and Asia counterparts, especially when it comes to South Korea. South Korea has just been at the top of gaming forever. But lately, U.S. teams in like the League of Legends leagues that they have here, the Overwatch League, U.S. teams have been forking up a lot of money to get Korean players out here, and then even Euro players that are worth it. And it's crazy seeing some of these salaries just going up, like skyrocketing.
Right?
And I think it's so cool. But at the same time, it's like, it's the same investors, and I know because I watch Overwatch League a lot. I know that the same investors in these teams are like part owners of actual sports teams, so that's how they're treating them. And what I started seeing a lot is them treating it kind of like soccer clubs.
Yeah.
And like soccer clubs, doesn't matter where you are. I mean, I watch Mexican League, and I watch MLS sometimes. And I mean, they'll put up a lot of money to get a star, or even someone that was a star that's coming down now. Yeah. They'll just fork up a lot of money just to get them in their stadium.
Right.
Do you think that's kind of the way esports is going now, or are they like picking up these big talents to like build it up?
Yeah, definitely. I think the recruiting, by giving them a salary of $3,000 to $5,000 monthly, like I've read it about like teams, like with esports, just like offering these salaries to major players like that are good, just to build up their franchise, and I think it's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, it just shows that it's universal, right? That's kind of how the way it works, I guess. With you see the same thing with any sport, really. Basketball, they obviously have their Euros. They have people from other countries, so it's just a different model. Obviously, the soccer model is a little bit different in the sense of how they obtain these players, because there's really no drafts besides in the. So it's just the way they operate. So if you don't have drafts, that's the only way you can go, or not the only way, but probably the best way you can go. So it's good for gaming in general. It's breaking barriers, as gaming has so often in the last 5-10 years. It's been breaking barriers and barriers and barriers. So it's good. Put more money into it. The more money into gaming, the more it grows, and the more people will be interested into it. So any of this news is great.
It builds competition, and that's what gamers like to do, is compete, be competitive. So it gives others a reason for it to grow. Like, all right, maybe have a shot. There's always new really good gamers every day.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I mean, gaming is sport, right? It's a competition. It might not be a physical sport, but it's a sport nonetheless. A sport could be anything competitive. It could be a sport. Finger. What is it called? The hand. What is it called? The arm wrestling and pinky finger wrestling, stuff like that. Anything could be a sport. So I hate when people say like, "Oh, gaming's not a sport." Like, no, it is. It's just obviously not physical, but so they need to put more money into it. And like you said, the owners are the ones putting money into it, so they're seeing the similarities between sports and gaming. So
I mean, there's tournaments, so
and the salaries, man, and the bonuses and stuff that people are getting paid for winning these tournaments, it's been going up so much. It's crazy. Like, some of the top earners that, obviously outside of streaming has its own earning potential, but the top earners for like competitive, like they're getting into the millions of dollars. Like, they're seeing soccer money there, and it's insane to see that. I think it's crazy because I know Mark Cuban is a part owner of the Dallas franchise for Overwatch, and it's crazy how involved he gets as an owner in like the decision making. Because something that he pointed out that I think is really interesting is that when you're talking about basketball, so in the NBA, if a rule changes, it's like a slight rule, and yes, it'll affect the game, but not in this drastic way. Whereas when it comes to video games, in a game like Overwatch, for example, you can change the meta by one small change, and that will totally make or break your team. Because what if you just forked out all this money for like a really good DPS player, and now the meta changed to like tanks and support?
Right.
And so he's been pushing a lot for regulation of the games when it comes to competitions. And I've seen some games, I think Call of Duty, like Call of Duty Worlds, they're actually playing on a previous patch because some guns have been updated recently, and they don't want to dramatically change a game before a tournament. So it's crazy to see how we're comparing it to sports, but at the same time they have their own mess to deal with as well.
And that's where I guess it gets kind of hard, right? Because you have to choose what's your main focus. This is a competitive world. It kind of happened with Fortnite, right? Fortnite focused on purely their content for the last year, 2 years, and now the competitive players are like, "Where's the money? Where's the money? Where's the money?" Like, you guys put in 100 million into it, and then just all of a sudden just decided not to put any more money into it, and now all of a sudden they're putting money into it, and it feels like you said, it's so volatile that the changes change everything. So that maybe if these companies do split, maybe they have some kind of rules for just competitive, and then rules for casual play and stuff like that. So it gets kind of hard with that in a sense.
Yeah, it's interesting, and we'll see where it goes from here. For now, I'm keeping a close eye on it, because you're just seeing more and more of these leagues show up. A couple podcasts ago, I talked about how FIFA, like the worldwide FIFA company, has partnered up with with the FIFA video game to create their own league. I think it's a Euro League, specifically for esports. So I think we're gonna see more of that coming in. The more that these big sports like conglomerates see that there's money to be made.
Yeah, and it's harder for these people also that are playing competitively to make money. They're
Hmm.
not these streamers that are, they spend 12, 14 hours a day playing these games. They don't have time to stream. Or if they do stream, they're
Yeah,
usually too busy, take focusing on the game, so their content's not that well. So
Yeah,
they
they got to
need money from these,
practice.
they need money from these, from their salaries to keep afloat, because I bet it's not easy for them if they're not, if say someone's making 50, 60K, playing video games, that's obviously great, but like, is that enough to get you by with these? They're like I said, they need more money invested in them. They're professionals, whether it be
yeah,
in games or something. They're still professionals. So
yeah. I mean, a great example of that is XQC.
yeah,
Obviously, he is a great streamer. But then for a while, he actually was a competitive player
Overwatch.
in the Overwatch League,
Yeah,
and he did his thing there. But in the end, he ended up leaving because he just was losing
he got
subscriptions. He was losing fans from his streams
and he
just
got
because.
banned. I think he got banned from
Yeah,
Overwatch League for 2 years or a year, 2 years. I
yeah,
think.
he got banned for something he said on stream.
Yeah, yeah,
And so in the end he's like it wasn't worth it because he was isolating his fans that were fans of him from streaming, and
yeah.
obviously he made fans from the competitive side as well, but there was a balance there, and obviously
Hmm.
he picked the side that he wanted. And I mean right now
Yeah.
he's the top earning streamer, so
Yeah, and
um
that's the great thing. These
yeah.
competitive gamers, they can come back and be, they can always fall back on streaming and after
Mhm.
they're done with their career, so they don't even have to play
Right.
for too long. A lot of these players they're retiring at 24, 20, 25 years old. I think NRGZ just retired one of the best
Yeah.
Fortnite players, and they're like 24 or 25 years old going to streaming. Uh, I guess there is different avenues for them for sure to go.
Yeah, and then you got like Shroud, same
Shroud,
thing.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
big.
chilling. He's
Nick Merckx used
Yeah.
to be a competitive Gears of War
Nick
player,
Merckx, yeah.
now he's on
Dude,
Yeah,
Warzone all
so
day.
yeah, dude, Nick Merckx, that dude, he's blowing up the fitness
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
topics
Today he did chest
over
day.
on Twitch too. Yeah, it's
yeah,
insane seeing that because before I would check out the fitness things just to see like, hey, let me see if there's any new exercises I could try or anything. And then
Yeah.
I saw that it was trending. I was like, what the
yeah,
heck? Like, what's going on? And I see Nick Merckx has like 30,000 people watching him just
yeah.
bench.
Yeah,
Dude,
he's
I
been doing that
know, bro.
for a
He's been
while. I
there for
think he
like
just
over a
Yeah,
month. He
and
just
he has
oh
a
no,
started
really
doing it.
dope
it's
setup.
been years. It's been he just didn't do it too often.
Yeah,
He's
I
Right,
been doing
think
right.
it for a while.
No,
I
because he
think
has
he
his new
just
setup.
yeah, he created a new setup in his gym,
Yeah,
and he has his like huge screen where he can see all the chat, and then he
Yeah.
can change the cameras too to focus on what he's doing. And yeah, I mean that's really cool. And yeah, and coming from competitive gaming to streaming, is definitely a really good avenue for them. Yeah. So aside from that, I did want to talk about new and upcoming games. There was this one really funny thing that I saw that they announced that, well, it was an accidental announcement. So Rockstar Games, obviously known for GTA, Red Dead Redemption, all these games, they accidentally announced an upcoming game. They didn't say what game it was, but what had happened is that one of the developers over at Rockstar, I guess he had left Rockstar recently. He was looking for a job,
By choice.
so yeah, yeah, and he updated his LinkedIn profile. That's all he did. And on his LinkedIn profile, he was putting the different projects he was on. And for one of them, he put something along the lines of like a sequel to a previous game, and still under a working title. And so everyone was like, wait, they're making a sequel to which game?
Yeah.
And it didn't last long before he was told to remove it, and he took it off his LinkedIn profile. So
Oh.
it didn't look like it was out of like bad blood or anything, like he was pissed and he wanted to say something. It was just like he's probably just creating his resume and like working on
Right.
all these things. And so now there's just all kinds of speculation.
yeah.
They're like, is it a new Grand Theft Auto game? Is it a new Red Dead Redemption, which would be really dope to see? Or personally, my favorite, people are talking about Bully. I don't know if you ever played Bully, but that was It was basically Grand Theft Auto, but in a high school.
Yeah.
And you like beat up on other kids and stole bikes and
Where
stuff.
did the first one come out?
That
Jeez,
was
that was
2000. It was Xbox. Was it the original Xbox or was the Xbox
yeah.
360?
I think it was
Oh,
PlayStation 2 and Xbox. I think it was that generation.
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah,
I don't
because
think I've heard of it.
I think it was on 360 as a prior exclusive. Oh, a prior game from Xbox.
Yeah, like a platinum game or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
If I remember, or it might have been just on the transition between the original Xbox and 360.
But yeah,
I hope it's Grand Theft Auto just because, like, I mean, Grand Theft Auto 5 is still going on and it's still one of the more played games. But man, you have to follow that up, right? Like everyone's waiting for it. Red Dead, I guess, but I felt like when it just came out, what, a year ago, 2 years ago.
Red Dead 2,
Red
yeah.
2,
Yeah,
Red Dead 2 is not too old yet.
So I would think it's Grand Theft Auto. Everyone's waiting for it. It's been what, 12 years? That's crazy. After they were just chucking out Grand Theft Autos about like every 2 years. And,
Yeah.
it's been a while since this last one.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, GTA 5 has its whole like community of modders, and there's so many different ways to play the game now. And I don't know if doing a GTA 6 would be worth it, especially since they have such a good player base still for GTA 5.
Yeah, that's true.
But they could also just be like, hey, we're gonna start preparing for the next one. They could be, I don't know, like CD Projekt Red Cyberpunk took them like 5 or 6 years to develop.
Yeah, so that makes sense.
Maybe they're just getting a head start on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because if they're trying to go for if they're going for the next consoles, they're probably gonna have to change. I don't know how Grand Theft Auto is gonna, convert to that. That's probably the only reason I think they'd make a new one. Like you said, all the mods and everything. It's kind of like Minecraft and Rust. A lot of these games that can last for a while because they have the mods and ability to basically do anything in the game.
Yeah. Personally, I got my fingers crossed for Bully 2. Just
that'd be good.
The nostalgia there. I just think it'd be funny.
I just saw like a little trailer of it from back in the day. I do remember seeing like previews. I never played it though.
Yeah. Another one which is also kind of flying under the radar that some people said could be the sequel would be a Manhunt sequel. I don't know if you guys ever played Manhunt, but
I didn't.
That's probably the goriest game I ever played.
Really?
Like the whole idea was that they left you in this city that was like just full of all kinds of criminals, and you can basically kill someone with anything you find, and like you could have like legit like a plastic bag and like suffocate people to death, and you see like blood and everything, like literally the goriest game I've ever played. And I think there was like 160 different ways to kill people.
What?
Yeah,
That's
it was,
weird.
and the whole idea,
cool.
the whole idea of the game is obviously there's a story and everything that you're trying to figure out, like who put you there, like why are you there, almost like Saw.
Okay.
Like someone left you there to die and you have to like fight your way out. And that was such a crazy game to play. It was kind of like a horror game, but there's no like ghosts or zombies or anything. It's just other psychopaths. And,
So in the beginning, you just like you just wake up and then you just have to like survive, or you get dropped in. Oh wow.
Yeah, so
That's cool.
Manhunt, I mean, that was definitely like one that was under the radar. And if they're making a sequel to Manhunt, I think honestly with today's games, like I mean, you saw like a horror game, Last of Us win Game of the Year, and you're seeing like was it Phasmophobia get like really popular lately too.
Yeah.
I think a game doing a sequel to Manhunt would actually go over really well with those gamers that are into these games. So
yeah, and
especially right now.
Yeah, horror games are everyone wants to play horror games, right? It's just a matter of finding the right one. Feels like horror games are they're always fun. They're for sure always fun, and they're fun to watch on stream for sure too.
Yep. Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe it could be a new Manhunt game, and I think that would be pretty cool to try out. On that topic of horror games, so new game came out, The Medium. I've seen a lot of streamers playing it. It actually looks pretty fun. Me personally, I don't think I'm gonna get it. I don't think I'm gonna play The Medium. I know we talked about it back when it was announced at the what was it? I I forgot it
It's
wasn't
not,
during the
not
Game
the Game
Awards, was
Award.
it?
No, it was. I think it was the Xbox
Oh, the Xbox event.
showcase.
Yep, the showcase.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, back when it was announced back there, even I thought it looked cool, but it's not something I'm gonna fork up $50 to go play.
yeah. I mean, it didn't look too scary. It wasn't like a. It's not like a horror game, at least from what I had seen. But it did. It was a little creepy for sure, and
Yeah,
it was interesting to see the
very
two sides. You know,
mysterious.
the two worlds, I guess, right?
Yeah,
So yeah, I probably won't buy it, but it looked interesting to watch.
Yeah, the trailer was really awesome. Actually, I was like, wow, this is definitely new. Like the whole medium world. Of like seeing the past. And you get to see it, and then you got to see what's the present. Two different worlds, two different sides of the dead, or what's
yeah.
been there, or what is still there. What's still living. So I mean, I probably won't get it either,
Mhm.
but it's a new concept, perspective for me. And so I think it's cool that they're making this kind of game. It's already out, you said?
Yeah, it's already out. And the thing is, it was advertised as like the first next generation horror game.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
really?
that's how it was advertised.
Hmm.
Yeah, but I mean, it's $50. I think
Oh
it's not on
man.
PlayStation. I'm pretty sure it's exclusive to
Mhm.
Xbox right now and PC.
Yeah.
But even then, I mean, I'll just wait for it to come out on Game Pass.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
like we said
agree.
many times, you have to convince really, really hard. It's really hard to convince people to pay $50, $60 for a game when there's free games everywhere, like Apex
Yep.
and Warzone and Fortnite and
Yeah.
all this stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, maybe if it would have come out with like a $20 price point, maybe I would say
yeah,
it's
yeah. I
worth
mean, it
it.
should.
But
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they'd sell more for sure if it's $15, $20. People are more likely to
yeah,
give it a try.
yeah. But we'll see. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
Speaking of Game Pass, so they're not necessarily new games, but it's new to Game Pass. So I wanted to point this one out. The Yakuza series. The whole remastered collection is on Game Pass now,
Hmm.
and it's really funny because a couple months ago, a friend of mine, he bought the whole collection because I think it was like a humble bundle or it was
Yeah.
like on Steam or something like all bundled for like it was like 20 or $30 and he paid for it and then literally a few months later, oh look, it's all on Game Pass now, the entire collection.
Yeah.
Definitely, if you haven't played these and you got Game Pass, you should try them out. They're really cool. They're really fun. The story is awesome. Um, it has a mix of like Japanese lore with like gun games and it's a super cool action game.
Yeah.
And it has its own art style that I think is just really cool. And the story and the plot goes really quickly. So they're pretty fun games to play through.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks fun, man. I mean, it's kind of like a comic-y game, I guess, artistic.
Hmm.
And it's I think it's like it's a Japanese mob or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah, so it looks interesting. I've never tried it for sure, but it's on Game Pass. I might give it a shot.
Yeah.
So like a Japanese like GTA.
Yeah,
Kind of,
that's at
yeah.
least what it looked
It's
like.
a cult classic, and like a lot of people are huge fans of the Yakuza series,
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
since it first came out. So seeing it all come out and remastered, honestly, I think I'm probably gonna download the games today and get started on playing through them again because they're that fun. So
Nice.
yeah, definitely go check that out. And then another new game that came out. This was probably like a month ago, but it was Hitman 3. So I think we only really talked about Hitman when we were talking about movies based off
Yeah,
video games.
yeah.
The Hitman series itself is really good. I haven't played Hitman 3 yet, but I saw streamers playing it, and I don't know if you saw, but Doctor Disrespected. He tried to do a speed run
Mm-hmm.
of Hitman 3, and he actually got like 22nd or 23rd like in the rank system.
Oh shit.
Really? That's
Yeah,
really
and he's
high.
like, and of course he's bragging about it. He's like, I don't even play these games, and look, I'm 22nd place in the speed run of Hitman.
Yeah,
So that was pretty funny, but it was one of the few like single player games that actually saw a lot of people streaming.
yeah. It looked fun. Definitely the gameplay looks pretty sick, and everyone likes Hitman. I feel like it's kind of like that sneaky. I guess 007 slash.
Well, that's a
I
good way
guess
to explain it.
game.
Yeah.
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 It's fun. Everyone likes those type of games. I feel like.
Yep. So yeah, so those are all the new games that came out recently. Everyone should really check them out, give them a shot. And then lastly, just for fun, I wanted to talk about boss battles. So a friend of mine posted on Twitter saying, "What's your favorite boss battles of all time?" And I thought that was a really interesting question because, especially in the context of like single player versus like large like multiplayer games like MMO RPGs and stuff, like what bosses stand out to you as some of like the most epic boss battles you've ever fought? Um, what do you guys think? What's some of the bigger boss battles
Mm,
you can remember?
for myself, I'm definitely gonna go with General Ram. Gears of War 1. On the train, man. That last fight was epic. If you've never played the Gears 1, I thought it was one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite uh, single players for sure. Um, and also the Bowser battle from Super Mario 64
Yep. That's my number
for
Oh,
two.
sure. That's probably one of the
that's a
best.
classic.
That's my
Yeah,
number
and
two.
then I guess the Bioshock Big Daddy, the fights with Big Daddy is also awesome. I'm a big fan of Bioshock, so the Big Daddy fights are always awesome for myself.
I still need to play through that. I have those games downloaded,
Dude,
dude.
oh man, it's so awesome. Like, yeah, I'm telling you, if I could, yeah, like I said, if I could recommend one game to everybody, that Bioshock, the whole series, every single game
Really,
was
Bioshock.
awesome. Yeah, give it a shot for sure. All three games are awesome.
Yeah. How about you, Neil? What boss
Um.
battles come to mind?
So Sergio took my second one.
Oh,
Bowser on Mario 64. Definitely have to agree that one. My first one of what I remember is Nemesis on Resident
Oh,
Evil
Resident
3.
Evil. Yeah.
Yes. Just when you think like, you got him down, he just keeps coming back. You're like,
yeah,
damn, oh my goodness, I never stressed so much as a kid. I was like, oh my, like
That's true.
my third boss probably at that time probably would be I don't know, consider him a boss, but he's a boss Pokemon. It's Mewtwo on blue
yeah.
version for
Oh,
me.
okay.
Yeah, blue
I
version.
agree.
Oh
That's a
my
boss.
goodness. Yeah, it was so fun. Like like even if I would lose, it's like dang, coming across Mewtwo, it's
Yeah,
amazing. Like he's a mutant. Just like he's not even like he's like OP. He's God of
yeah,
Pokemon.
yeah. I
But
agree.
Yeah.
yeah, I think those would be my three top three that I have in mind.
Yeah. One that stuck out to me, and I actually hadn't posted it in that Twitter feed, just because he's a big Last of Us fan.
Hmm.
Mhm.
And the final fight there, um, from both games, from Last of Us One and Last of Us Two, both of those games had a really good final fights that were super emotional, and
Yeah,
but for me, I try to focus more on like nostalgia and like that rush, right? Like
Yeah.
what's gonna give me that rush? And honestly, one of the probably one of like the creepiest or like scariest uh boss fights that I ever did was Psycho Mantis from Metal Gear.
hmm
Oh
And
yeah,
I don't know if you
dude.
remember that one, but that one just the first time I played it, it freaked me out because you're playing the game, and as you're fighting this character who's a telepath, you like input whatever you need to input to make Snake move, and then
Right.
he's like, "Oh, I read your mind. I knew exactly what you were gonna do," and he keeps like stopping you. And the way to beat him is to actually remove your controller from port one and put it into port two, so he can't read your mind.
Wow.
And it was just like that just like blew my mind that they're like, oh, that's how it works, is like, and you have like in the background you have the people telling you like, oh, like we you need to be selecting like differently, like something you don't usually do.
Right.
And I was like that, and that was the way to beat him. And
That's so
it's really
smart.
crazy. And when it came out on PlayStation 3, it didn't really have ports like that. So you
Yeah.
actually had to like go into your game menu and switch to a different controller
Wow.
in order to beat him.
Wow.
Was that
Yeah.
the Metal Gear 2 or 3?
That I think is the first one, Metal Gear Solid.
Was it first? Oh,
Yeah, Metal Gear
dang.
Solid. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, it's insane, and I mean, you can probably just go on YouTube and just look at it,
Yeah.
and it, of course, I mean, the graphics and stuff look bad, but that's what they were at the time.
Yeah, exactly. So we had.
But yeah, but man, that one just stuck out to me so much, just because the whole like oh crap, like this character in the game is reading my mind.
Yeah, like what do I do?
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do?
Aside from that, another one that stood out to me, and because I'm a big Super Smash Brothers fan, is Master Hand. Just because
Oh,
the
yeah,
first
for
time
sure.
the first time I fought Master Hand on N64 is just like, what am I fighting right now?
Like,
Like,
Yeah.
what is this thing doing?
Yeah, that was
And
fun.
yeah, and then like finally beating the Master Hand was like this like epic like fire everywhere, and you like save the day, and you don't
Yeah.
even know like what the heck just happened. Like I was fighting a huge glove, and I think that one stands out because that one's really cool. And
yeah.
then my third one, I don't know. There's just so many. It's probably one that I haven't beat yet, and I probably should go back and try to beat it. It was Punch Out, Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson and
Yeah.
Punch Out.
I never beat it.
I never even reached it.
I never beat Mike Tyson. I have no idea what the pattern is there, how to beat him.
What
I
the
could probably
strat
look it
is.
up and figure out what the pattern is to
Oh
beat him, but
yeah, you should. You should go back and try it now. You know.
right.
Yeah.
And I mean, literally that whole game, it was called Mike Tyson's Punch Out. So
Yeah.
the whole game was literally leading, like a bunch of boss battles leading up to the one big boss battle.
Yeah.
And I
That's a
think
good one.
that's why it remains one of my favorites, just because it's still one that eludes me to this day. But yeah, maybe I should go back and try it. I remember, I think I was in high school even, because I had it on the Wii, and my friends and I would just try to figure out the patterns ourselves and trying to beat it, and we never beat Mike Tyson. So yeah, that's definitely one I need to go back to. But yeah, so that basically concludes our podcast for today. As always, we like to end with recommendations. So I'll start with my recommendations. If you have Battle Pass or Game Pass, definitely check out Yakuza. Yakuza is super cool storyline. The games will fly by. If you don't want to play all of them through, just play the most recent one. You don't need to know all the backstory to play these games. They actually like take off in their own story, and they're really well developed. So Yakuza is definitely my recommendation for the week.
For myself, haven't been playing anything new, so I guess I'm gonna just go again with Rust or
Rest.
Warzone. I mean, yeah, those are my recommendations. That's what I'm playing right now. But you know, there's a ton of games out there, so just scroll, like you said, scroll through the Game Pass. There's just endless amount of games, so you'll find something that you at least want to play there.
Yep.
My recommendation for the week would probably be, I just re-downloaded it. I'm pretty sure a bunch of Xbox players know of it. It's Left 4 Dead 2.
Oh yeah.
Left 4 Dead 1, you know,
That was
it
smart.
was amazing, you know. Left 4 Dead 2 came out. I never got the chance to play Left 4 Dead 2. So,
Oh okay.
I got PC. My friends were like, "Hey, download Left 4 Dead 2 and we'll all play." I'm like, "All right, cool."
Nice.
So I did. And it's still just as fun as before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, hey, Left 4 Dead 2, it's not that pricey. Just go get it and play it.
Yeah, Left 4 Dead 2's they definitely did not miss the mark on Left 4 Dead 2
Yeah,
from Left 4
it's
Dead 1, which is
fun.
great. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know if you knew this, Neil. We talked about it in the previous podcast, but they're making a spiritual successor to Left 4 Dead 2.
Mm-hmm.
A what?
A spiritual successor, so it's not gonna be Left 4 Dead 3, but it's the same developers creating another zombie game that's based off hero shooters and 4-player co-op.
Oh,
So,
that's awesome.
Yeah, it looks exactly like Left 4 Dead. It's
Yeah.
just
Oh, that's so
a different
cool.
name, basically.
Yeah,
I'd be.
it looks really dope. So
Let's go.
we're
Back for
looking
blood.
forward to that.
All right. Yeah,
Yeah.
we should
I think they
squad
said
up, dude.
Hey, they said the
I'm
end
down.
of this year, or was it next year?
It's at 2021, so it should
Okay,
be
so
coming out
next year,
sometime this
okay.
year.
Nice.
Yeah.
We'll have
Oh,
something
is
to
it this
talk
year?
about
Okay,
later
yeah.
on.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Hopefully that comes out soon.
Yep.
But yeah, thank you everyone for joining. Again, we're Quickscope Podcast, brought to you by Higher Passion Entertainment. Higher Passion has all kinds of podcasts. Make sure you follow them, and follow all the other podcasts. We got everything from sports to music, to even just films, movies, and TV shows. So go check all of them out. Like and subscribe to this channel, to this video, so you can get more content like this and build up the gaming community. So thank you for joining us, and GG's.
GG's, everyone.
GG's.
Bye guys.